You're now listening to From the Jump.
Welcome to From the Jump, your source for all things hip-hop. I'm Syllable. This is my co-host,
Mr. White.
Make sure you subscribe and leave a comment below saying, I subscribed, and we'll try our best to reply to your comment. And we're here to talk about the Black Slim Shady. No, this is not another rapper. This is the game's 10-minute diss track against the one and only Eminem, Slim Shady, a.k.a. the first white rapper to give respect to hip-hop, and skill, talent, technique.
Yeah.
And he's calling Eminem trying to act too black in the song. And Eminem may be a lot of things, but he's not someone that has tried to act black. That's not what I've seen.
If anything, you could say that he shied away from some of the cultural things that he could have done because he's always been a little bit timid about that aspect of rap, right?
Yeah.
Black culture is a big part of rap music, and for Eminem, I think he's always trying to find a balance between it and still try to pay homage to everybody.
Exactly. And let's just say it, fucking Games versus Wack. I'm sorry.
Versus the soul track.
This wasn't an impersonation of Eminem. It was an impersonation of cannabis. What the fuck is all this shit? The only thing that was missing was not having a hook, and he had kind of a hook, but his skits were cheesy, but not cheesy enough to be funny. Just paid some random white dude he knew to fucking do the skit. Wasn't funny.
Nah.
It was like, look, bruh, you can diss Eminem with the perspective that you're better than Eminem if you bring the heat.
Yeah.
You ain't bringing the heat.
Not really. My problem with it is just from the beginning. That first skit
fucking
turned
Uber
me off.
Shit.
He's like, oh, I have to go pick up my last Uber by 8 Mile. And it was like, that's just not, it wasn't funny.
It wasn't
so
funny.
You immediately lose me, right? And then he goes into, throughout the song, he's basically doing interpolations of Eminem styles, right?
He spends the first two verses doing vocal exercises to warm up his presentation sound. It's not even good. It's like, oh, this is like your throwaway freestyle track to try to warm up to the verse. Then the third verse, he starts imitating Eminem well enough to be listenable.
Yes.
And that was dope. But that was 12 bars. After that, whoosh, went down again.
He didn't have any crazy wordplay or alliteration or any of the half rhymes that Eminem always does. He just can't do it. It sounded like he could, but it sounded like he didn't take the effort to do it, right? It's like, okay, you're gonna come at Eminem, who's known for being a great rapper, right?
Yeah.
But also a great diss rapper, and you come with this mid. Come on, gang. I can't give you a pass on that.
So he made a mistake here bringing Haley into it, who responded on Instagram saying, 10-minute song, you sound like you're obsessed with Eminem. You're obsessed with my dad. You're not actually making a good song about it. You just sound obsessed. And she deleted that later on, or it was a tweet.
But she came back out and said that he was reaching just to get album sales because he knows that at 42, having not dropped an album in a number of years, he's not relevant like that.
No.
And he needed some controversy to get his record sales up.
So he didn't really want the heat because he didn't go after Joe Budden, did he? And Joe Budden already killed him on Game Over way back in the day. Joe Budden saying, your sounds type trash. Tell Banks to ghostwrite, but then you sound like Fab. Get a sound like Black. Not real. Never heard a sound like that. He's a bitch. Probably sleep in a gown and a nightcap. It's I'm sorry. You fishing for compliments from Eminem's fan base. He's trying to get record sales, which is okay, sure. But bring some shit to the table that's worth repeating. I ain't listening to that more than one time to do this podcast.
And he's talking about so much about the fact that Eminem is basically trying to be black. He doesn't get play in the clubs, which is not true. That is false. As corny as the Eminem and Nate Dogg song is, that I've heard that song in the club recently.
Crack a bottle, all that shit.
I'm not saying that he's like the top 10 club artist,
right?
But during his era, and in the 2000s when his music was big, they play Eminem's music in the club. It wasn't always my favorite thing to come on in the club, but he got played. He got spins, and so this idea that Eminem isn't relevant to black culture from a hip hop perspective is a fallacy. I grew up listening to Eminem. He's one of my favorite artists. So the fact that you're saying like, oh, okay, well, I didn't bump his music in my whip. It's like, I know too many black people that like Eminem for you to say that. So it's like, where are you getting your stats from?
Yeah. I just feel like if Game is going to do this, do it right.
Yeah.
Try a little harder. This is not...
It was goofy to me.
Yeah, it was goofy. It wasn't funny. And he had a few rhymes like Dr. Fauci about that shit that was funny. The chorus was funny, talking about, what was the line? He's like, bringing the heat with the oven mitts or some shit. Like the oven mitt line. I laughed genuinely a couple times, but I think I laughed in the areas he wasn't trying to be funny. But I thought his attempt to be clever was more hilarious than his actual attempt at humor, because it was funny to me. Because I'm like, nope. Like, this is lame. It's lukewarm. And what he presents, it's not really bringing the heat. Like I said, I would love to hear Eminem come back at him, because he brought Haley into it. And so bringing Eminem's daughter is probably the only reason why Eminem is going to reply, because he doesn't need to reply.
I feel like
he doesn't need to reply.
This is such a mid diss track. I don't think Eminem gains anything from this.
Yeah.
I think Eminem maybe drops a track with some subliminals.
Yeah.
Maybe this will give him some ammo to come back out with another good project. His last project wasn't bad. The Music to Be Murdered By, that was actually a good rebound from that weird, he had a weird segment of albums where it just didn't seem like he had the energy. But when he came back with that Kamikaze and the Music to Be Murdered By, I was like, I'm not a huge fan of the fast Eminem stuff that he's been doing, but it was still better. Like, Eminem's always got great wordplay. He's always got great lyricism. Yeah. Sometimes his beat choice isn't there. But if we're talking about Game is an artist who's always been known for his very dope delivery over West Coast beats. Yeah. And sounding hard body like gangster. Like, he pitched his voice up in this song. He was sounding all kitty and soft. He didn't sound like a 42-year-old man on here.
Now, maybe he's just salty because he didn't get on the halftime show in the Super Bowl, right? And he's just like, he's like,
I didn't think we did talk about that before.
He's like, oh man, I'm just butthurt as fuck because I wasn't on the halftime show.
Well, Game's always been slighted, right? He got slighted by Dre because he didn't help him with the documentary album or whatever while he was there. He got slighted by 50. That didn't work out. 50 was been talking trash about how the Game doesn't have a good work ethic or whatever. And then he also seems like he got slighted by Eminem because I guess he got let go from Shady Aftermath at some point. So, and he said Eminem supposedly is the reason, but maybe Eminem didn't like your work ethic.
Shit
maybe
sounds like a fucking love letter. All right,
yes,
I'll be straight up.
It
Just like, come on, Game. You dick riding way too hard.
It's a lot of admiration in this song more than it is. It shows how much he wants to be Eminem.
No, I think it's.
And I'm not saying he like really wants to be Eminem, but it shows that he wishes that he had the accolades of Eminem.
I would love to see Eminem reply to this, just because I like Eminem when he's angry. He does his best rapping then.
I do.
What do you guys think? What's your favorite Eminem track? And can you answer this one pivotal, crucial question, which is, how is Game gonna create a diss track against Eminem with Hit Boy that doesn't hit? Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tune in for another episode of From the Jump.
Peace.